heritage, our tradition, our future. Rise! Today, we become...
In this episode of Mutual and Federal Premier Interschools Rugby, we look ahead to this Saturday's derby between rivals Grey High School and Selborne College, live on SuperSport. The Eastern Cape is renowned for its enthralling school rugby derbies. The games are always played with a high level of skill and intensity, with running rugby usually being the order of the day. Grey High School and Selborne College have for many years been the top two rugby playing schools in the region, and their end-of-season derby is a highlight on the school sports calendar.
Selborne is a very, very special derby encounter for us. We take most of the school along to Selborne, and every second year they come to us.
Yeah, the importance placed on derbies such as these, I think, is crucial for the well-being and the success of our schools. I think schools like Selborne, like Grey, thrive on competitiveness. So yes, fixtures like Grey, which we obviously have to take very seriously, is very exciting for us.
Obviously the Grey Derby for us is the last derby of the year, so it's our last opportunity to prove ourselves before the following year, and then for the Matrix it's even bigger because it's the last game for Selborne.
I think the whole weekend is quite special, watching the hockey play. There's a great build-up, and then just we look forward to the things that we do traditionally, like going for our pre-match meal, our jersey handover.
Grey is definitely a big one. It's always the last one of the year for us, so that makes it even more sentimental. We like to take it very seriously, and we just want to play hard, and it's a good opportunity to prove ourselves.
Selborne Grey are very like-minded schools and have very similar values and standards, etc. And certainly on the rugby field it's a wonderful occasion and a wonderful day of sport.
It's always a big game, it's a little Eastern Cape derby, which is always big for us. But and we always loved playing against Selborne. It was always a big game, competitive rugby, and our style and kind of rugby for both teams. It's the one game I think you want to win. I mean, your friends are Selborne boys one day, and you want those bragging rights. So I think there's a lot on the game, but it's what makes schoolboys so exciting. And I think both teams are going to enjoy it and look back and laugh and have great stories from it.
Grey High School, situated in Port Elizabeth, is one of the oldest schools in the country, boasting a proud sporting, academic and cultural heritage.
We were founded in 1856. We used to be on another campus, and we moved to the campus this year that we're on currently, and this is actually our 100th year being on this campus. So in that sense, historically, this is quite an important year for us at the school.
The motto at Grey is Tria Juncta Anuna, which is mind, body and spirit, three joined in one. So yes, we do indeed have a proud sporting and cultural history, but our core business will always remain academics.
Some 300 kilometres down the Indian Ocean coastline lies Selborne College. The East London School is one of the many famous all-boys schools in the border region.
Selborne College is 143 years old this year, going back to 1872. The schools have evolved quite tremendously over the last few years. So academically, the school is producing some fantastic scholastic students for the future. From a sporting perspective, we have a very proud history, and also from a cultural perspective, we're thriving at the moment, even so much that we've embarked on the building of a new music centre.
The black and white, to me, it's very prestigious. An older brother of mine played first team here, so it's something that we share rather deeply. It's a very proud history and we take it very seriously at the school. So there's a lot of pressure, but we just take things day by day. And with the support of our teammates, we end up feeling rather comfortable.
Both schools are similar in many ways, having produced World Cup winners. Mark Andrews of Selborne in 1995 with South Africa and Mike Catt of Grey with England in 2003. Grey and Selborne are the perennial powerhouses of Eastern Cape rugby, but share many other commonalities across the board.
I think we have a wonderful relationship with Selborne College. We've obviously played them over many, many years, and the first team that will play on Saturday, they've probably started playing against them 10 years ago. So it's a wonderful culture between the two schools.
Grey will play host to the 2015 encounter when they welcome the Selbornians onto the famous Phillip Field, a venue that has seen many an exciting match take place in the past.
I think home ground is massive. It's a case of the boys playing their last home game in front of their peers and fellow students. So obviously playing them there last year, I could feel what it did for Selborne, and what we hope it will do for us on Saturday will be giving us the edge in terms of home ground and 16th man.
It's a privilege to run out on the Phillip Field, always listening to the crowd and past SA players running on the field like Sia Khaleesi and Kurt Coleman, so it's a great privilege.
If it's a big game, you know, it feels kind of like a test vibe where you got the school is packed out, everybody watching. There's like packed like sardines, you know, it's crazy.
The Selbornians will be no stranger to the Phillip Field, having taken part in the biennial Cape Schools Week earlier this year.
Yeah, Cape Schools was a fantastic success for us. We played the likes of Bonnet Lampo, Sax and Rondebosch. We managed to get 3 victories from 3 fixtures, and the boys did fantastically well in what was a tough week.
Grey have been in good form in 2015, losing just 3 of their 15 matches and beating all of their Eastern Cape opposition.
This year we have fared very well, certainly at this point in time unbeaten in the Eastern Cape, which makes this fixture against Selborne representing the border even more important.
I would say quite good. We had a bit of a shaky start with a loss against Maritzburg and quite a big loss against Polris. But other than that, we've climbed up, we've been working hard, and it's just been getting better and better.
A couple of highlights include some of our victories at the St. Stephen's Festival, along with our victories down in the Western Cape against Wynberg.
10 Grey boys featured in the Eastern Province Craven Week team, with Kwesi Mafu and Kerwin Bosch both making the SA Schools A team. Bosch in particular was the talk of the town in Stellenbosch, with some thrilling displays at fly half.
Kerwin, a fantastic young man, one of the hardest working kids in the squad. Works a lot on his kicking, many hours a week, and obviously at this moment in time he's doing fantastically for himself. Had a great season for both Province and for Grey, and we wish him very well for his future, which at this moment in time looks very bright.
Selborne, the alma mater of French scrum half Rory Cockett, have also had a good year and were well represented at the Craven Week with 11 boys in the border team, including SA Schools centre David Brits.
Well, David Brits is matured a lot as a rugby player this year. He had a very good season last year, but I think he's come a long way as captain and as an attacking player. I think his defence has also improved a lot, and I think he's going to be a player for the future.
We always seem to be the underdogs when we play against the bigger schools, but we've done well against them. Had some tough fixtures, but we've pulled through a few. Probably the highest moment of the year was beating Polcham at the Cape Schools Festival.
We are a dynamic team, so I think we've got to use what we got. We can pass, we can kick, we can run. So I think we're going to have to mix it up quite nicely to try and outfox them in a couple of ways, but we'll be up for that game. We'll definitely be up for it.
This year has been a rather fruitful year for me personally. We came across challenges and we overcame them. As a team, I put a lot of respect and reliability into my teammates, so I have big thanks to say to them.
We're blessed to have 2 really good coaches, Mr. Kevin Taylor and Mr. Piran Omomo. Mr. Omomo doing the back line and Mr. Taylor doing the forwards. Fortunately for us, They really know what they're doing over here, and I mean, as you can see with our results in the past year, we've done fairly well, so thanks to them.
The first team encounters have been fairly evenly matched throughout history, although Grey have won the majority of the games played. Selborne have not tasted victory since 2011 and will be hoping that 2015 is their year. The last time Selborne and Grey met on the Phillip Field in Port Elizabeth, it was Grey who came out on top with a convincing 45-0 victory. The 2014 match in East London went down to the wire in a game that could easily have gone either way. However, Grey held on for a 2018 win.
It was quite a difficult kick, so I knew the chances of him getting it over, I wouldn't say not good, because he's a good player, but you know, I was quite positive that we'd done enough to win that game, and it proved to be so.
It was a game of fierce competition. I think the history of the schools came out between those two teams in that clash.
That match displayed, for what I saw, the whole season all poured into one match, and there were a lot of highs and a lot of lows, and it was unfortunate for us to lose in the last dying seconds, but I think we played well as a team. Hopefully we can one-up ourselves this year.
Saturday will be the last opportunity for the matrics to represent their schools on the rugby field. Only 70 minutes will determine whether the Phillip Field is painted in the blue of Grey High or the black and white of Selborne College.
It's the last one of the season, so it sticks with you for quite some time. I think in that respect it's quite important, but as a whole, I mean, we quite enjoy that fixture because the two sides are well matched.
It's going to be another humdinger, there's no doubt about it. What will happen on the day, but for your interest they have asked me to take the whistle and blow the game, so there shouldn't be a problem for the Grey.
Today, we stand for all that is, for our heritage, our tradition, our future. Today, we become...
Watch Grey versus Selborne in Mutual and Federal Premier Interschools Rugby this Saturday, live on SuperSport.